I'm Olivia from Attitude, and it's great to have you on the couch to learn a bit more about you and your new role. So our first question is, who are you?
I am the Minister for Social Development and Disability Issues, also Associate Minister for Arts, Culture and Heritage and Pacific Peoples. I am a mother. I've got 2 children. I've got one who's nearly 20 and one who's nearly 5.
Do you identify as having a disability?
I don't have a disability. Dyslexia is quite prevalent within my family. So I've got 2 sisters and a mother who are all dyslexic. I've had quite a little bit of a background working in the disability sector, running an organisation that gave disability advice and information. I've also worked in a geriatric hospital as a nurse aide with a lot of older people who had disabilities.
So you don't identify as having a disability. No. What do you think about the word itself, disability?
In some ways it can be quite disempowering, I guess. To say that you are disabled means that you are not able. In some ways, it's a clear description of the fact that you're living in a world where you are disabled. So you're disabled by the barriers and the people and around you and the way things are set up.
And so if I went to visit you at Parliament, would you know if there's an accessible bathroom?
There isn't on my floor in the Beehive, but there is on the ground floor in the Beehive.
Yeah, cool. It's good to know. If we grab a coffee sometime.
Anytime.
And what do you do for fun?
For me, I guess because I spend so much time in Wellington and there's so much involved in the job of being an MP or a minister, my spare time is spent with my 4-year-old, and that's pretty fun.
What do you think life is like for a person with a disability living in New Zealand?
I guess if you think about other countries, in some ways, in New Zealand, it's easier for disabled people than it is in many others. Does that mean that it's as good as it should be? No, definitely not. As the Minister for Disability Issues, how can I work effectively with the ministers that have an influence in this space? So the Minister for Education, the Minister for Transport and Housing, the Minister of Health, because it's not just me that will have an impact here. In fact, if it was just me working on this, we wouldn't make much progress at all.
Yeah, we talk a lot about our attitude, how disability doesn't discriminate, it affects every sector of society.
Yeah, it does, it absolutely does. It's about how we as an entire government can put a absolute focus on this so that we can do the best job that any government has ever done in this country.
Can you explain your disability strategy in 2 sentences?
Disability strategy in 2 sentences. Okay, 2 sentences. I should have thought about this better. Okay, for me, our strategy, we have a disability strategy, but effectively what we have to be focusing on is maximising everyone's potential and being proactive on ensuring that we are being inclusive and removing any barriers that exist for disabled New Zealanders.
And I see you wearing a little bit of red. Do you have to like the colour red?
I do like the colour red, actually, and so that helps. I actually like red better than blue, not just for political reasons, I just really do. And I've got a 4-year-old who likes to go to his preschool and tell people he's in the red team, and he says his favourite colour is red too.
On that note, I think we'll leave it there.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Sweet, that's a wrap.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.